Welcome to the Real Nibiru Planet X channel. I'm James Klingler, and I've been told I don't do enough of these, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And I can tell you 85% of what we see on YouTube is flares, and what people like to think are planets and call them orbs are usually nothing but flares from windows that they're filming through, or basic lens flares that are showing up. Um, if you've ever noticed, most of those videos, when it has the lens flare or orb or planet or whatever they want to call it, and when it's above the sun and they show you a great picture of it, they show you footage of it in video even, and you notice that the sun never gets below the horizon. You want to know why? It's real simple. If the sun were to go below the horizon, the orb flare would disappear because there'd be no source of light anymore. Direct light hitting the lens. That's the easiest way to find out if you're taking a picture of a flare. Cover the sun with your thumb, the side of a house, anything that can block the direct light hitting the lens. Most of these people would find out that their flares, orbs, planets, whatever they want to call them, Nibiru, would just disappear with the light. But they never show you that, because if the sun were to go down before that, which is usually above in their pictures, why don't they show the sun go down? If the sun went down, wouldn't that just be the only thing left in the sky? Bright as hell, as they like to think it is. I mean, obviously the orb is behind the sun because it's fully illuminated, fully round and bright next to the sun that they always show. So that would mean it would have to be behind the sun on the other side. Otherwise, all we would see is a dark side, a little bit darker area in the sky, hardly noticeable with the light hitting the atmosphere. But this is what they want to put out there. 85%, 90% of the people that are putting videos up are doing just that, focusing on flares. Flares they can't prove are anything, because they never take the video far enough to show you that it disappears when the sun does. Otherwise, they would show you the sunset and the Nibiru that they think is Nibiru is still in the sky, because it's not going to be in the sky anymore, because when the sun dips out, so does the flare. That's why they never finish the videos. But enough about that. Let's get to what I see, because that's what everybody's been asking for. And I know I don't do enough of these talk shows, but I don't really, I'm not trying to force my opinion on anybody. If you can't see the shadows casting across the sky on your own, or notice that, let's have a look at how the light is reacting when you're taking pictures or getting pictures and trying to understand what you're looking at. Like in this video, borrowed this picture from Getty Images. As you can see, the light is coming from this around the side of a planet, and all the rays of light with the black streaks in them along the side of the planet there, because that's what light does when it reacts with something solid. It breaks apart into rays, as far as the camera is concerned. And just like this one, you got light coming out from all the way around. And what do we see? Black streaks in the light, as we would expect to see as it's coming around something. Now, this is what I'm looking for in the sky during the day, and at sunset and at sunrise. I'm looking for these shadows, especially during the day, because they shouldn't be there if the sun is actually behind the clouds. All the clouds should be illuminated during the day. Now, in space, as you can see above here, for light to react with something has to be there. Otherwise, it's just black everywhere, unless there is something for it to reflect off of. And the sun doesn't have to be completely visible to see the light coming from around the side of another planet and still look like the sun from our viewpoint. Now, all these pictures have been real up until this point. These are examples of what the light is doing in our sky, looking from here to there. You know, lots of streaks of shadows and crescent illuminated sides of planets with nothing but dark sides that, from our viewpoint, will only look like the sky, but a little bit darker. I mean, a slight shade darker of blue. And this is how you find these things, because there shouldn't be any variances up there that are round and, you know what I mean? Like in this first part of the video, on the top left there, with the streak of light going across. And you can see that the light is going across the sky, not out into the sky. It's being blocked. We have a crescent illumination with dark side at the top right there. You can see it's dark up there. The light is streaking. It never got light over there. Everything that goes over there falls into shadow. See that? Let's have a better look at a different place. This is a really good one to see the shadows going across the sky and the line of light that is being blocked. You can see the illumination of the crescent there. You got the light side and then you got the dark side with the streaks going across, just like in that first picture. The light is breaking across something else. That's why it's not illuminating the rest of the sky. And just, you know, I mean, the sun's right there. Why is it being blocked right there? I'll tell you why, because there's something there. And from our viewpoint, all we're going to see is the dark side of the planet, which is only going to change the sky just a little bit. Look at that. Streaks of light. Got dark side over here. You got light side on the right. And look at the light. It goes down and under this great big ball of darkness. Still looks like the sky, but look at the light. It's telling you it's not. It's going around something, under something. Another reason for so much light after the sun goes down. It's still reflecting off something. And in this one, look at the cutoffs. You can even see where the light changes as it's bending around something. Just like the mountain below, it'll eat up that mountain before it sets, the light. We won't see it hardly. But just like in the sky, it's going around and behind things. And that's how we're seeing it. The shadows. I mean, when the sun is behind a cloud, the rest of the sky illuminates behind the cloud when you're filming it. Because, you know, the light is, there's nothing for it to run into, like in this picture right here. I mean, look how bright that is. And the whole left side, you can see that the light is coming around the side of something big. And on the, now you got, it's in between two somethings below that bigger thing. And there's the shadow from it. As the sun comes up over here, this is a really good example, by the way, of the illuminated side, where the light's coming out and around and going down and under, instead of just illuminating the rest of the sky, which is apparently staying dark in a shadow that's from the side of something round. Go figure. But you can see how the light is going down and under this. It's not illuminating evenly across the sky. Look at that. There's a shadow line that the sunshine just cannot get past. Everything behind the clouds on the left side of the screen is dark, and on the right, all bright. And as the sun gets higher, the sky will get darker. And you know why? Because there's something in the way. See, the sun's going up, and nothing behind that right there, all of this is going to stay dark. But the light will continue going down to the horizon and trying to get underneath it until you start seeing it coming out the other side, because the sun is going up and over to the left. But look at the shadow line. How the clouds have to wrap around into the sun to illuminate. They're in a shadow otherwise. It's very visible. There's the sun. It should be illuminating all this very, very easily, considering it's behind the clouds, right? Look how dark it's getting over there. That is a side illumination. And right there in the center, above that little hill way in the back there, yeah, here's an example. And that little hill back there, that's where the base cloud is, on the bottom of this thing. And you'll tell, you can see that it's a base cloud because it follows the bottom of the round part. Now what we're looking at now is a bigger one and a smaller one. You can see that there's a smaller, darker circle top dead center that's just kind of hanging around, where the light is going around right here. There's a smaller one in front of a bigger one. And it's got a base cloud. In fact, I took a picture about a month ago that is a very good example of what we're looking at here. You got the two little lines of cloud below where the base cloud is. And on this picture, do you see? Right here, there are two lines, and it looked exactly the same. A little different cloud pattern, but exactly the same striations. Exactly the same striations. Yeah. And as you see, right there in the middle, there's a round ball behind the clouds that's staying a little bit darker and not moving as fast as everything else. In fact, it's blocking the sunlight as the sun goes up. See? All of this is dark. See this line of dark? This is a side illumination. You can see the planet, the whole thing. You can see the light coming out the other side. And as the clouds move across the sky, this area, like I said, top dead center, has been remaining dark the whole time we've been watching this. And you can see the edge right there on the right. Just follow the light. It leaves a nice little path. There's that base cloud again, right above the mountain in the background, right there. That's the base cloud. See, at the very bottom of the round part. This is what I look for when I'm looking up in the sky. The sun is really, really bright. You need to use your camera to see these darker areas, because your eyes aren't going to see them. You're blinded by the sunlight, the glare of the sun. I mean, we don't see it like we should. But if you're looking for the shadowed areas in the sky, where obviously there should be some illumination going on, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking at. I don't pay attention to anything else. There are no orbs. There's no sun simulator. The strange shapes are just the sun being behind the side of a planet and the light coming out the side. From our view, it looks the same. I mean, it's far away. See the round? That's the round part right there. And here's the other side of that bigger one. But you can see the light is going behind something that's casting a great big shadow. Streaks of shadows, no less. And you can see the illuminated crescent side of that with the base cloud below it. And the smaller one right next to it, just like in the other picture, just different angle. See how dark it's staying over there? There's nothing there for it to be dark, right? Wrong. The shadows that are casting and the blockage of light, like just right there, how it's coming down around something round and going behind something that's in front of the round thing that's round, casting huge shadows across the sky that nobody seems to notice. But everybody wants to pay attention to the orbs. They kind of look like the moon, and that's the general thought about it. Look at that. You can see it right there, big and round. The sun's going down off to the right. And what you're going to see as the sun gets lower is the light go down and under and behind that planet and come out the other side along the bottom. See, that's where it is. Keep watching. You'll see. As the sun gets lower, 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 look at the bottom on the right above the flag. See where the light's coming out? Right here. That's what you're looking for. See that big dark circle now? That big dark circle is a shadow cast by something big and round. Otherwise, the light wouldn't be coming out from along the bottom and behind it. Well, that's it for today. Keep an eye out for those shadows because that's what we're looking for, everybody. Also, I'd like to thank everybody for sticking around and listening. I hope that helps. Those that are pretty adamant about me doing talk shows and explaining this every time, it's not going to happen. It just won't happen. These are things you need to see. I shouldn't have to point them out. I mean, they're pretty obvious once you start to see them. And that's why I did this one more tutorial for everybody. Again, have a good one. And keep your eyes to the sky. It does take longer than 5 minutes to see things, you know.